Maximum Ride, Book 1, The Angel Experiment by James Patterson. A first chapter Friday read aloud with the Word Nerd. Today, as you listen, watch for the story quote that will appear on screen. Write it down, word by word, and then follow the instructions given to you by your teacher. Hi, my name is Amanda Zieba. Welcome to my channel, Learning with the Word Nerd, and another First Chapter Friday video. This week, I'm going to be reading to you from Maximum Ride by James Patterson. It's the first book in a series of 9. It's also available not only in prose format, but also graphic novel. I'll be sure to link both the full series in prose and graphic novel form for you in the description box. But for now, let's read the back and see what this exciting story is all about. Welcome to my nightmare. Do not put this book down. I'm dead serious. Your life could depend on it. I'm risking everything by telling you, but you need to know. Max. Her full name is Maximum Ride, and the girl can fly. Max's missions: 1, to protect the rest of her gang, Fang, Iggy, Nudge, and Gasman and Angel, from a pack of half-wolf, half-humans with a taste for flying humans. Rescue Angel from a queue of complete whack jobs, infiltrate a secret facility to track down their missing parents, figure out what she really thinks about Fang, get revenge on the one person she thought she could trust, discover the best chocolate chip cookie in New York City, and save the whole world, for crying out loud. But not necessarily in that order, of course. Prepare for launch because these pages fly. Strap yourself in for the thrill ride you'll want to take again and again. Thriller writing sensation James Patterson, America's favorite storyteller with over 140 million books in print, invites you on a quest of full-stop, non-stop action, adrenaline, mystery, and suspense. So let's dig right in. I know that I usually only read you the first chapter, but today I'm going to read you 4 because they are so short. Here we go. Maximum Ride, chapter 1, 2, 3, and 4. The funny thing about facing imminent death is that it really snaps everything else into perspective. Take right now, for instance. Run. Come on, run. You know you can do it. I gulped deep lungfuls of air. My brain was on a hyperdrive. I was racing for my life. My one goal was to escape. Nothing else mattered. My arms being scratched ribbons by a briar I'd run through? No biggie. My bare feet hitting every sharp rock, rough root, pointed stick? Not a problem. My lungs aching for air? I could deal. As long as I could put as much distance as possible between me and the erasers. Yeah, erasers. Mutants, half men, half wolves, usually armed, always bloodthirsty. Right now, they were after me. See? That snaps everything into perspective. Run. You're faster than they are. You can outrun anyone. I'd never been this far from the school before. I was totally lost. Still, my arms pumped by my sides, my feet crashed through the underbrush, my eyes scanned ahead anxiously through the half-light. I could outrun them. I could find a clearing with enough space for me to... Oh no. Oh no. The unearthly baying of bloodhounds on the scent wailed through the trees, and I felt sick. I could outrun men. All of us could, even Angel, and she's only 6, but none of us could outrun a big dog. Dogs, go away. Let me live another day. They were getting closer. Dim light filtered in through the woods in front of me. A clearing, please, please, a clearing could save me. I burst through the trees, chest heaving, a thin sheen of cold sweat on my skin. Yes! No. Oh, no. I skidded to a halt, my arms waving, my feet backpedaling in the rocky dirt. It wasn't a clearing. In front of me was a cliff, a sheer face of rock that dropped to an unseeable floor hundreds of feet below. In the back of me were woods filled with drooling, bloodthirsty hounds and psycho erasers with guns. Both options stank. The dogs were yelping excitedly. They'd found their prey. Moi. I looked over the deadly drop. There was no choice, really. If you were me, you would have done the same thing. I closed my eyes, held out my arms, and let myself fall over the edge of the cliff. The erasers screamed angrily, the dogs barked hysterically, and then all I could hear was the sound of air rushing past me. It was so dang peaceful that for a second, I almost smiled. Then, taking a deep breath, I unfurled my wings as hard and fast as I could. 13 feet across, pale tan with white streaks and some freckly-looking brown spots, they caught the air, and it was suddenly yanked upward, hard, as if a parachute had just opened. Yow! Note to self, no sudden unfurling. Wincing, I pushed downward with all my strength and then pulled my wings up and then pushed downward again. Oh, My God, I was flying, just like I'd always dreamed. The cliff floor, draped in shadow, receded beneath me. I laughed and surged upward, feeling the pull of my muscles, the air whistling through my secondary feathers, the breeze drying the sweat on my face. I soared up past the cliff edge, past the startled hounds and the furious erasers. One of them, a hairy-faced, fangs dripping, raised his gun. A red dot of light appeared on my torn nightgown. Not today, you jerk, I thought, veering sharply west so that the sun would be in his hate-crazed eyes. I am not going to die today. Chapter 2. I jolted upright in bed, gasping, my hand over my heart. I couldn't help checking my nightgown. No red laser dot, no bullet holes. I fell back on my bed, limp with relief. Jeez, I hated that dream. It was always the same. Running away from the school, being chased by erasers and dogs, me falling off a cliff and then suddenly whoosh, wings, flying, escaping. I always woke up feeling a second away from death. Note to self, give subconscious a pep talk. Better dreams. It was chilly, but I forced myself out of my cozy bed. I threw on clean sweats. Amazingly, Nudge had put the laundry away. Everyone else was still asleep. I could have a few minutes of peace and quiet. Get a jump on the day. I glanced out the hall window on the way to the kitchen. I loved this view, the morning sunlight breaking over the crest of the mountains, the clear sky, the deep shadows, the fact that I could see no sign of any other people. We were high in a mountain, safe, just me and my family. Our house was shaped like the letter E turned on its side. The bars of the E were cantilevered, there's a good word, cantilevered on stilts out over the steep canyon. So if I look out a window, I felt like I was floating. On a cool scale from 1 to 10, this house was easily a 15. Here my family and I could be ourselves. Here we could live free. I mean literally free, as in not in cages. Long story. More on that later. And of course, here's the best part. No grown-ups. When we first moved here, Jeb Batchelder had taken care of us, like a dad. He'd saved us. None of us had parents, but Jeb had come as close as possible. 2 years ago, he'd disappeared. I knew he was dead. We all did, but we just didn't talk about it. Now we were on our own. Yep, no one telling us what to do, what to eat, when to go to bed. Well, except me. I'm the oldest, so I try to keep things running as best I can. It's a hard, thankless job, but someone has to do it. We don't go to school either, so thank God for the internet, because otherwise we wouldn't know nothing. But no schools, no doctor, no social workers knocking on our door. It's simple. No one knows about us, and we get to stay alive. I was rustling around for food in the kitchen when I heard a sleepy shuffling behind me. Morning, Max. Chapter 3. Mornin', Gazzy, I said as the heavy-lidded 8-year-old slumped at the table. I rubbed his back and dropped a kiss on his head. He'd been the gas man ever since he was a baby. What can I say? The child has something funky with his digestive system. A word to the wise? Stay upwind. The gas man blinked up at me, his gorgeous blue eyes round and trusting. What's for breakfast? He asked, sitting up. His fine blonde hair stuck up all over his head, reminding me of a fledgling's downy feathers. It's a surprise, I said, since I had no idea. I'll pour the juice, the gas man offered, and my heart swelled. He was a sweet, sweet kid, and so was his little sister. He and 6-year-old Angel were the only blood siblings among us, but we were all a family anyway. Soon Iggy, tall and pale, slouched into the kitchen. Eyes closed, he fell onto our beat-up couch with perfect aim. The only time he has trouble being blind is when one of us forgets and moves furniture or something. Hey, Ig, rise and shine, I say. Bite me, he mumbled sleepily. Fine, I said. Miss breakfast. I was looking in the fridge with naive hope. Maybe the food fairies had come, when the back of my neck prickled. I straightened and quickly spun around. Will you quit that? Fang always appeared silently like that, out of nowhere, like a dark shadow come to life. He regarded me calmly, dressed and alert, his dark overlong hair brushed back. He was 4 months younger than me, but already 4 inches taller. Quit what? He asked calmly. Breathing? I rolled my eyes. You know what. With a grunt, Iggy staggered upright. I'll make eggs, he announced. I guess if I were more of a fembot, it would bother me that a blind guy 6 months younger than I am could cook better than I could. But I'm not, so it didn't. I surveyed the kitchen. Breakfast was well underway. Fang, you set the table. I'll go get Nudge and Angel. The two girls shared the last small bedroom. I pushed the door open to find 11-year-old Nudge asleep, tangled up in her own covers. She was barely recognizable with her mouth shut, I thought wryly. When she was awake, we called her Nudge, the Nudge Channel. All nudge, all the time. Hey, sweetie, wake up. Get up and at 'em, I said, gently shaking her shoulder. Breakfast in 10. Nudge blinked, her brown eyes struggling to focus on me. What? She mumbled. Another day, I said. Get up and face it. Groaning, Nudge leveraged herself into a crumpled but technically upright position. Across the room, a thin curtain concealed one corner. Angel always liked small, cozy spaces. Her bed, tucked behind the curtain, was like a nest, full of stuffed animals, books, and most of her clothes. I smiled and pulled the curtain back. Hey, you're already dressed, I said, leaning over to hug her. Hi, Max, Angel said, tugging her blonde curls out of her collar. Can you do my buttons? Yep. I turned her around and started doing her up. I never told the others, but I just loved Angel. Maybe because I'd been taking care of her practically since she was a baby. Maybe because she was just so incredibly sweet and loving herself. Maybe because I'm like your little girl, said Angel, turning around to look at me. But don't worry, Max. I won't tell anybody. Besides, I'll love you best too. She threw her skinny arms around my neck and planted a somewhat sticky kiss on my cheek. I hugged her back hard. Oh yeah, that's another special thing about Angel. She can read minds. Chapter 4. I want to go pick strawberries today, Angel said firmly, scooping up a fork full of scrambled eggs. They're ripe now. Okay, Angel, I'll go with you, said the gas man. Just then he let one rip, one of his unfortunate occurrences, and just giggled. Ah, geez, Gazzy, I said disapprovingly. Gas? Mask? Iggy choked out, grasping his neck and pretending to asphyxiate. I'm done, Fang said, getting up quickly and taking his plate to the sink. Sorry, the gas man said automatically, but he kept eating. Yeah, Angel, said Nudge. I think the fresh air would do us all good. I'll go too. Well, I'll go, I said. Outside it was beautiful, clear and cloudless with the first real heat of May. We carried buckets and baskets as Angel led us to a huge patch of wild strawberries. She held my hand. If you make cake, I can make strawberry shortcakes, she said happily. Yeah, that'll be the day, when Max makes a cake, I heard Iggy say. I'll make it, Angel. I whirled. Oh, thank you, I exclaimed. Okay, I'm not a fabulous cook, but I can still kick your butt, and don't you forget it. Iggy was laughing, holding up his hands in denial. Nudge was trying not to laugh. Even Fang was grinning, and the gas man looked mischievous. Was that you? I asked Gazzy. He grinned and shrugged, trying not to look too pleased with himself. The gasman had been about 3 when I realized he could mimic just about any sound or voice. I'd lost count to how many times Iggy and Fang had almost come to blows over stuff Gazzy had said in their voices. It was a dark gift, and he wielded it happily. It was just another weird ability. Most of us had them. Whatever they were, they sure made life more interesting. Next to me, Angel froze and screamed. Startled, I stared down at her, and in the next second, men with wolfish muzzles, huge canines, and reddish glinting eyes dropped out of the skies like spiders. Erasers. Only this time, it wasn't a dream. If you want to know what happens to Angel and Max and all of the others, you should totally pick up a copy of Maximum Ride, and then, if you love it, you can enjoy the entire series. I hope I'll see you here again next week for more First Chapter Friday videos. Happy reading! To continue reading Maximum Ride, pick up a copy from your school library, purchase one from a local indie bookstore, or grab it via the link in the description box. Then be sure to check out the rest of the First Chapter Fridays in this playlist and the other great videos I have for you on my channel. This week's mystery quote says, "Is it important to be right, or it is important to do what's right? That's one of the hardest lessons to learn." Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe and come back again for more great video content from the Word Nerd. Happy reading!